Commander Zalthor's mandibles clicked in barely concealed amusement as he examined the human vessel docked at the Galactic Trade Station. The ship was a rusted hulk, its hull patched with what appeared to be welded scrap metal. Primitive chemical thrusters jutted from its rear, and the whole contraption looked like it might fall apart at any moment. "This is what they send to represent Earth?" he asked his second officer, a crystalline Vexani named Shira. "I've seen better engineering on mining drones from the Outer Rim." Shira's form shimmered with what passed for laughter among her species. "The humans are a curiosity, Commander. They only joined the Galactic Council 15 cycles ago. Their technology is quaint." The delegation meeting was set to begin within the hour. Representatives from 47 species had gathered to discuss the upcoming expedition to the Void Nebula, a region of space that had remained unexplored for millennia due to its hazardous radiation fields and gravitational anomalies. The Council had finally developed shielding technology, capable of withstanding the nebula's dangers, and every species wanted a piece of whatever resources might be hidden within. When the human representative arrived, Zalthor had to suppress another dismissive click. Captain Maria Santos was short by galactic standards, her simple blue uniform lacking the ornate decorations favored by most species. She carried a battered datapad that looked generations behind current technology. "Captain Santos," Zalthor greeted her with forced politeness. "We were just admiring your vessel, very vintage." Maria smiled, seemingly unbothered by the condescension. "The Pathfinder has served us well for over 700 years, Commander. She's reliable." A ripple of barely stifled laughter spread through the assembled delegates. 700 years? Most species replace their ships every 50 cycles at most. The Kryn Empire's delegate, Ambassador Thex, leaned forward with genuine curiosity. "Surely you mean 700 days, Captain? Or perhaps there's a translation error." "No error, Ambassador. 712 years to be precise. She was commissioned in 2147 by the Earth Space Agency for the first Mars colony missions." The room fell silent. Even Zalthor's amusement faded into confusion. "You're telling us you've been using the same ship design for over 7 centuries? And you wonder why the Council questions Earth's technological contributions?" Maria's smile never wavered. "We don't wonder, Commander. We know exactly what we bring to the table. Which brings me to the Void Nebula expedition." She activated her ancient datapad, projecting a holographic image that, to Zalthor's surprise, was crystal clear and three-dimensional, far superior to the Council's standard displays. The image showed the Void Nebula in stunning detail, with color-coded radiation fields and gravitational well mappings. "We've already been there," Maria said simply. The room erupted in protests and disbelief. Thex's translator struggled to keep up with his rapid clicks and whistles. "Impossible. The radiation alone would tear apart any ship. We've only just developed adequate shielding." "You've developed adequate shielding for your ships," Maria corrected gently. "We developed ours 700 years ago. The Pathfinder and her sister ships have made 17 expeditions into the nebula. We've mapped every sector, cataloged the resources, and established 3 research stations on the planetoids within." Zalthor's 4 eyes narrowed. "You're claiming that this rusted scrap heap has technology superior to vessels built by civilizations that have been spacefaring for millennia?" "Not superior, Commander. Just different. And yes, much older." Maria expanded the hologram, showing detailed schematics of the Pathfinder's systems. "When we designed these ships, we didn't have access to quantum computers or graviton manipulators. We had to make do with what we called dumb materials and simple physics. Turned out simplicity has advantages." She highlighted the ship's hull. "This scrap metal is actually a titanium steel alloy interlaced with a carbon nanotube matrix. It's heavy, yes, and it looks crude, but it's virtually indestructible and requires minimal maintenance. The nebula's radiation? It just bounces off. Those chemical thrusters you mocked? They don't rely on quantum containment fields that can collapse under gravitational stress. They just burn fuel and create thrust. Every single time." Shira's crystalline form had stopped shimmering. "The research stations? You're saying humans have been operating inside the Void Nebula for centuries?" "Station Alpha has been continuously occupied for 643 years, Maria confirmed. "We've been mining the rare isotopes there for quite some time. In fact, we've been selling them to various galactic markets under different trade names. You might know them as Vexani crystal accelerants or Kryn fuel cores." The revelation hit the assembled delegates like a shockwave. The materials that had powered the Council's greatest technological leaps for the past several centuries had come from human sources, and nobody had known. Zalthor felt his certainty crumbling. Why not reveal this before? Why let the Council believe you were technologically inferior? Maria's expression grew more serious. Because we learned something important in our 700 years of deep space exploration, Commander. We learned that showing off advanced technology makes you either a target or a threat. We preferred to be underestimated. We traded our resources, learned from other species, and quietly went about our business. She closed the hologram and looked around the room. But now the Council is planning an expedition with ships that, frankly, won't survive the nebula's outer rim. We couldn't in good conscience let thousands of beings die when we could prevent it. So, we're offering our expertise. Our primitive ships will guide your vessels safely through. Our outdated shielding technology will protect your crews. And our quaint 700-year-old knowledge will ensure everyone comes home alive. The silence that followed was profound. Slowly, Ambassador Thex rose from his seat, his translator projecting a tone of deep respect. Captain Santos, on behalf of the Kryn Empire, I apologize for our earlier dismissiveness. We would be honored to have Earth's guidance on this expedition. One by one, the other delegates followed suit. Even Zalthor found himself standing, his mandibles clicking in a gesture of sincere respect. Maria nodded graciously. Thank you, Ambassador. And for what it's worth, your new quantum drives are truly impressive. We've been taking notes. Maybe in another 700 years we'll have figured out how to make them as reliable as our old chemical thrusters. As the meeting adjourned, Zalthor approached the human captain privately. I have to ask, Captain, what else are you hiding? Maria's smile returned, enigmatic and knowing. Commander, we're humans. We've been underestimated for our entire existence. We've learned to turn that into our greatest advantage. What else are we hiding? She glanced at the ancient Pathfinder through the station viewport. Why don't you stick around for the next few centuries and find out? As she walked away, Zalthor found himself looking at the battered human ship with entirely new eyes. It wasn't a relic of technological backwardness. It was a testament to engineering so far ahead of its time that it still worked flawlessly 700 years later. While most species couldn't keep their ships running for 50, the humans hadn't just joined the Galactic Council. They'd been quietly leading it all along, one primitive innovation at a time.